What is going on, you guys? It is your favorite twins, Ariam
and Yodit.
And you're tuned in to Deux Sol Radio.
Can't believe you said that.
I know.
It's been a while.
A very while.
Yeah, but I'm here for it.
Yes. And for those who are tuning in for the very first time, we are twin sisters shining light on music and culture.
Yes. And twin takes are better than one.
Yes. I love it. Right?
Yeah. I'm here for it.
I mean, 2 takes are fine, but twin takes are even better. So
I know. I wanted to use that so bad. I've been holding on to it for so long.
I feel like I delivered it and like you were like this close, but it's fine. I got it. I got it for us.
Oh. Okay. We'll roll with it. Maybe the next episode we'll get it right.
But anyways, like we said, we love talking music and culture. And this isn't our first rodeo. We were recording a podcast for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit. And like many people, the pandemic shut shit down.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure did.
Really put a halt on everything. We couldn't record. We couldn't have in-person conversations with such amazing guests that we've been lucky enough to be a part of. And it was definitely a shock and an abrupt change for us. Yeah. And it was kind of, it was like, hard.
And it was interesting just because obviously like everyone was going through this collectively. So like we weren't alone in this like opportunity to pivot or shift or even just like take a pause. But for us, I think while it was happening, like we just really needed to like really listen to ourselves and accept that maybe it's time to not only pause but like assess what we want to do with Deux Sol Radio.
Yeah.
And we just kind of took this as an opportunity to reevaluate like where we wanted to take the platform, where we wanted to do with the podcast. And I think we did something that was really important for us.
Yeah.
Because at first it was like, we were just in that momentum, as you mentioned, Ariam. We were in that flow. And we're like, no, we got to keep going. We got to do these, do these things virtually. Like, and that's when we started doing those IG lives like everybody else was doing.
I know. I feel bad even like, honestly, it was something that we felt like, oh, this is a quick solution.
Yeah.
But I felt like we were just adding on to like the annoyance of content overload. And I want to apologize to adding on to that. Everybody and their mother was on IG Live. Your lives were just going off. Like you're getting notifications. Like,
and just want to shout out all the people that actually like tapped in and then like stayed for the entire interview.
Yes.
Because I know personally when I see an IG live notification and I accidentally tap it and it's like me and the host for like the first like couple seconds and I wasn't planning on attending, it's always the most frustrating thing. So I like kind of waited out and then when some more people come, I'll like leave.
Oh my God.
It is who
awkward,
stayed the whole time for us. We appreciate you guys.
Or like when you're the only person on the live, right? Like you accidentally tap into a live and like you and the host are there and they like wave at you. Like, what are you going to do? You're not going to just jump ship. Like you got to actually like wait it out. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in the entire conversation.
Yeah.
We did have really great guests too. So definitely really enjoyed it. But like Yodit said, we definitely felt like at one point we were like, okay, what's next?
Exactly.
This is not really sustainable. And, it just didn't feel like we were getting that full like fulfillment that we did when we were able to like have those in-person conversations and have those like really dope interviews and really dope guests. So we then eventually like, you know what? We're listening to the universe and we're going to just go on hiatus.
Yeah.
And not put pressure on it, not feel like we had to continue to make content just to make content, because then our like creativity was kind of suffering and we were just like, you know what, like let's just listen to what's happening right now.
Yeah. And surrender for a second. And that was, I think, honestly, like the best thing ever because, I feel like even naturally now, like people have this tendency to just want to keep up for the sake of keeping up.
Yeah.
And like you said, Ariam, like we didn't want to like compromise anything or just feel like we were not creating things with substance. We were just trying to like fill in the gaps. And I didn't want us to be continuing to do that. So we say all this to say that we're back.
Yes. Back like we never left. But, just it'd be cool to fill in the folks that did, follow our journey and were, loyal listeners, see what we were up to.
Yeah.
And you know, the pandemic also afforded us the opportunity to feel like, what is our next move? Literally. So we are originally from the DC area, and after we graduated college, we essentially just moved back and were there for about 7 years, and we decided to take this leap and move to New York. So we're currently based in New York City, which is big for us. You know, it's a change. And it was something that happened actually really naturally. I'm currently in a relationship, and I decided to move in with him, and he lives in New York. And then Yodit actually ended up getting an opportunity to work a really great job to work out here. And so it felt like, you know what, this is our next step, you know?
Yeah. And New York was always like in the long-term plans.
Yeah.
That, like, at some point, even if it wasn't like long-term, even if it was like for a few years or whatever that looked like we definitely thought we were going to try living in New York because we were always visiting. There was just a lot of things to do and explore, and a lot of people that we knew out here that we just wanted to extend those connections with. And so then we felt like, you know, why not just do it? Like, what now? Let's just do it. So that was the kind of mentality that Ariam was mentioning. And then we didn't like make an announcement or anything, we didn't even tell that many people. We honestly just, it was like a little like, you know,
secret soft dip.
Yeah. we just pieced, and, you know, people were like hitting us up to like do things in DC, and we're like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I felt like even though we didn't like make like a formal announcement, I felt like we were posting like our location sometimes, and like
were like, wait,
we were in New York, but like we were in New York for a minute, like so I felt like eventually people would realize that, but I guess because we didn't make this like formal
which I also think is not always necessary.
Like
I feel like you and I were like I didn't feel like we needed to like, you know, tell people like, hey, this is happening. Like, it's just kind of like, if you're in our, you know, if you need to know, you know, and then when you find out, you will. But honestly, living in New York has been really, really cool. People have obviously been asking, and as people that are not from New York that are adjusting, there's just like a lot to learn.
I think also I think a part of the reason why we didn't make this big announcement was also like, not that there's anything wrong with being a transplant, but I feel like there's a lot of like shame around like not being a native in New York and like saying you live in here, and like I feel it, like whether it's on TikTok.
Those TikToks. Yeah.
And I get like angry. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be like adding to that, you know? So I kind of was like, let me just be a little cute, quiet with it.
Let's just slide in.
But yeah, that was another reason I just realized. But
yeah, those TikToks actually take me out.
Like all the New York natives literally like, I feel like guilty. Like I'm a part of the problem, you know, like we are like intruding your space. But New York City's, it's been great so far. It's actually been really interesting for Yodit and I, because this has been the first time we've actually lived apart too. Because obviously we're twins, but we're also very close, right? You know, we went to college together. So we were always roommates in college. And then after we graduated, we moved back to DC together.
We had an apartment out there.
We had a few apartments out there. And we were roommates there. And also we lived with our lovely sister Sophie too.
Shout out to Sophia. We love you.
So we were always just roommates, and it was always convenient because you never had to vet your roommate. You know how to coexist with each other. But you know, we were just always close, and not only did we move to a new city together, but we're living apart, which has been really interesting. Just like not having that like crutch to have you around always, or being used to like our dynamic has been like a change, but a healthy change.
Definitely. And it's cool. I mean, obviously, like we're still in the same city, so I feel like it's also probably helps with the move. Like, oh, like, you know, it's helpful with like adjusting to a new city. Like you know that your family's around, but living apart thing has actually been more like interesting, because I remember when we were telling like people like, oh, like how are you gonna feel living apart? And like it didn't even occur to me that it would be a transition to think about. Like until a few people were like, well, you guys have like been together since the womb. So like
we're roommates.
How like it's going to be different. Like you might not see it now, but maybe you'll feel it when you are finally moving. And then I remember when I was moving, like obviously you helped me move up with my stuff. And I was like, this place is mine. Like I had to like think about that for a second. I was like,
nothing to share.
And seriously, and twins out there that are tuning in will understand the sentiment. Like if you're close, not all twins are, every twin dynamic is different, but for the most part, most twins are very close. Yeah. And so like having a space to myself was like, I was like, oh my God, this is like a thing. Yeah. Like I know why people do this, but it was also interesting. Like, oh, I don't have to like share. Yeah. Like,
I know. Like, and like we at least share everything. Like, I mean, any sibling really, but twins, like my closet is her closet, like anything, like groceries, all our food is your food. Like everything was always just like shared. So I feel like now you get to have this like, grown NYC independent woman kind of,
Yeah.
energy.
You know what's so funny? Somebody yesterday asked me, like, what's it like living alone? I'm like, I don't know why these words came out, but I was like, I'm literally in my era. And it just came out. But like, I didn't know what I meant, but it felt right to say that. I don't know why. And it didn't mean like not in like a shape. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, like this is like me. This is my time to like think about Yodit, and that's, it was interesting, but it like, I never like actually put words to the transition until yesterday, literally yesterday. Yeah. Now it's cracking up. We were all but it was just like, yeah, you know what? Like, that's kind of like, I'm just figuring out.
Yes. Yodit's era.
Yeah.
In my era.
Yeah, and your era too, Ariam. You are living, you're in a healthy, beautiful relationship.
Thank you.
You have a great partner. You're living with them.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I've been lucky. I've been hearing a lot of horror stories about cohabitating with a partner, and just, learning that they're not as great of a person as they thought they were. So I'm really grateful that I have a great partner, and he's super supportive and loving, and we just, we live together really well. I'm really blessed.
Yeah, because it's
like a luxury.
Like you said, it's you really don't know somebody until you live with them.
Yeah,
even for like friends, not even just partners, like friends or like roommates. Like, you don't know somebody until you live with them.
Yes,
but it's really dope that you have a situation where like you're meshing very, very well.
So far, so great. So far, so great. I'm really happy.
So far, so great. I love to hear that. I know.
And he lets us have our little twin hangouts. She'll come over, and
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like
he gets it. He gets it.
Yes. No added explanation necessary. But yeah. In other news in life, we're in New York. We finally got here, right where we are recording our first episode in almost 2.5 years, I think, right? Because essentially we stopped in 2021, right? Like, and
yes.
Also, I guess like if we were on hiatus, but technically we stopped recording March 2020.
Yes, that's right.
And now we're back in a space where we can, continue where we left off, right? But why did it take us so long? Probably because we were anxious and nervous.
Yeah, the anxiety was kicking in. Like you would think like, okay, obviously like we love doing this together and like having this, podcast and like getting to interview people, all that. Like, and we were doing it for a long time together. But like after taking some time apart and like you would think it would be like an instant like, oh, like, it's just like picking up where we left off. And
like
and that's how we feel right now in this moment. I'll tell you that. I do feel that way.
Yeah.
But when we were out of it, there was a little anxiety and like a little like, okay, like I'm a little nervous to get back out there.
Yeah. I feel like we were our own, like we were holding ourselves back in a little way.
A little bit, yeah.
Like I saw people like continuing to, do this and do what they love, and what's holding us back? Like literally us, like feeling like, can we actually do this? Like, do we remember how to do this? Like, is it going to be like riding a bike? All these things. And now like being here and like actually doing it, I feel like, why did we wait this long? Yeah. Like it feels so natural being here talking with you. And I don't know, I I just feel like I missed it so much.
I know.
And we get to like work together again, you know, like obviously we have our individual life, but this kind of like brings us together. So I miss it. It's fun. But yeah, no longer waiting. We're doing it. We're in it. We jumped right in.
Yeah.
We're doing this thing. So what is to be expected of this version, this new season of Deux Sol Radio? I feel like we definitely will still be talking about pop culture. And
always.
I mean, it's natural. Like I'm sending TikToks constantly to Yodit, like at 1 a.m. being like, girl, did you see this? So-and-so broke up with so. Yeah, that's going to be happening here. Okay.
Yeah. All
the pop culture, all the news, can't help it.
Yeah. And anything that's like new in music or film.
Yes.
If you're just learning about us, we're definitely music junkies and we're definitely movie junkies. Yeah. We love talking about new projects.
Yes.
Processing them, dissecting them a little bit.
A little too much.
And I love it.
Yeah, but it'll work out for this podcast. No judgment zone here. Definitely talking about what we were watching, what we're listening to. But also what we want to do a little bit differently this time around is we want you all to be more involved in the process. You know, we want you guys to like comment what we should talk about, you know, send us DMs about who we should have on our show, who is a trending artist or a dope artist that you think we should have on and share their story. You know, like we want to know what you guys are listening to and who we should, you know, help elevate and show on our platform. So definitely going to be taking DMs and comments and, you know, it's open space. Emails. Oh, we love emails. Emails number one. Okay. Emails like number one, and then comments and then DM. You know, that's the order. But we just want everyone to be more involved in our process, and we just hope that you guys have fun, and we hope you guys enjoy what we'll be talking about and tuning into. So and that kind of wraps up this show. But we'll be coming on next time, and hopefully we'll have a guest. Hopefully we'll be talking about trending topics. Yep. It's been a ride, and we can't wait to keep doing it together. Yeah.
So if you like what you heard,
yes, you can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all at DEUXSOL.
And for Twitter, it's...
for Twitter, it's at DEUX_SOL. Not by choice, but we had to do that. But anyways, on all socials, and listen to us anywhere that you can hear podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, iHeart, anywhere you can hear it, we'll be on it. And till next time, guys, peace.